What if I told you that the goofiest, most skeletal member of the Straw Hat crew was once a weapon of the celestial dragons? Beat. Ladies and gentlemen of the Grand Line, get ready because today we're diving into a theory so chilling, so out there it just might be true. This is the secret life of Brook, former Holy Knight. The Holy Knights, introduced briefly in Chapter 1083, a shadowy organization that enforces the will of the celestial dragons with ruthless precision. They are not Marines, not Cypher Paul. They are something worse. Clad in armor, draped in mystery, and supposedly the last resort of the world government. But here's the twist. What if one of them left? What if one of them died and came back? Brook, the Soul King, was once the captain of a royal guard, but that's the official story. Something about it never sat right. He knows how to fight like a swordsman, but also like a knight. He talks about honor, upholding dignity, and following a higher moral code, even in the face of death. But here's the clincher: his music. His music affects the soul. Literal soul-based manipulation, one of the most terrifying powers in the world. And what did Imbu call Joey Boy's weapon? Dangerous. For the soul, coincidence? We think not. We know Brook died and was brought back by the revive fruit. But that fruit only works once. He was wandering the afterlife for over 50 years. But what if the reason it took so long to return was because his soul was bound elsewhere? Maybe he wasn't allowed to return until the Holy Knights no longer had use for him. Maybe he escaped. Brook's fencing style, refined, old world, like a knight of legend. He uses ice, music, and soul attacks. That sounds more like divine magic than a pirate's blade. And then there's his code, "May I see your panties," a comic relief. Yes, but behind it is a man clinging to life, humanity, and memory. A man trying to feel alive. What if Brook's cheerful madness is PTSD from centuries of carrying out atrocities in the name of false justice? Here's the full theory. Brook was a holy knight, one of the first. Recruited long ago when his kingdom swore loyalty to the celestial dragons. He followed orders. He hunted rebels. He enforced tyranny until one day he couldn't anymore. Maybe he saw something. Maybe he heard Joy Boy's song. He died, but didn't disappear. His soul rebelled, refused to go quietly. And when he finally returned, he'd forgotten his mission, but his heart remembered what was right. That's why he joined the Straw Hats. That's why the music flows so deeply from him. That's why Brook, the skeleton, is the most human of them all. If this is true, what happens when the Holy Knights recognize him? What happens if Imu remembers? The traitor who came back from death. What if Brook, the funny skeleton, becomes the final soul weapon in the war against the celestial dragons? Pause for effect. Now that's a concert I'd pay to see.